EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with your outlook for December 13th, 2019. Friday the 13th, we will have rain moving to the area that might start off as a little bit of spotty freezing drizzle very early and very briefly. It doesn't look like it's going to last too long. If you do get some freezing drizzle, it will be very trace amounts. Might be traced to maybe a hundredth of an inch or a couple hundredths of an inch out here in south central Pennsylvania as this comes in, but I don't expect this to last very long. Maybe very briefly initially, and then it changes over rather quickly, and then we'll have warm air advection come in from the south and change everything over to rain. This is a primarily rain event, and the global models didn't really have much of anything at all as we move forward here to the afternoon. You see just rain coming in here, but it's really just spotty drizzle. It's not rain coming in this morning. It's just spotty freezing drizzle. That isn't really going to amount to too much here, but it looks like it's just primarily the mountains of central Pennsylvania that could get into those trace amounts of ice before it warms up sufficiently and changes everything over. You can see that thing here on the NAM high-res future simulated radar at 7 a.m. Spotty freezing drizzle, very spotty and very light, so it's not a treacherous situation. It's not a something that it needs to have winter weather advisories or warnings going out for, but you do have some spotty freezing drizzle shown here on the NAM, but then once we get to mid-morning, this is warming up pretty quickly. And again, here's that parts in central PA in the mountains, and this is our far western areas that could get into the trace amounts of accumulation, but further east it should warm up sufficiently with that southeasterly wind and onshore flow, and will just be showers, just a cold showers, intermittent showers that we're going to be dealing with today. As we go through this entire day, it's just scattered showers for the most part, but once we get into this evening, it's going to pick up a little bit, and we're going to get a more concentrated rainfall that's going to come through during the overnight period. Could have some embedded heavier rain in there, but it's going to be pretty much just a persistent rain, and you could get a little bit of a break after you get to Saturday morning, and then another batch comes through here during the afternoon and evening before this system finally pulls away. Might even end as a little bit of snow up here in north central and northeast PA. So we'll watch for that at the tail end here before this pulls away here on Saturday evening and Saturday night. Here you can see that across northeast PA too. We're going to monitor this too. We might have to send alerts for this if this persists on the guidance going forward, but this is going into Saturday evening and then this pulls away. So that's our rainstorm. This is going to take pretty much today and tomorrow out of the picture as far as anything you're going to be doing outside is probably not going to be happening. But here is the again, just showers today. They're going to be increasing throughout the day. Just periods of showers mainly today, and then once we get into the overnight, there's the more concentrated rainfall as low pressure gets closest to our region, and then it will be tapering to showers here on Saturday. Just more showers and periods of rain here in the afternoon on Saturday going into the evening, and then once this pulls away, we have a little bit of snow on the back end, perhaps, if the NAM is correct. But then once we get past this system, we are dry here on Sunday, morning clouds giving way to sun, and temperatures will be still on the mild side, but not quite as warm as it will be here on Saturday. So then we're going to turn our attention to the next system coming in here. This will be later on Monday, probably looking at Monday evening, maybe even late Monday, but more likely Monday evening, Monday overnight. Could have some wintry precipitation coming in here. And then it does look like it's going to change over to rain for most areas, but areas north of 78, namely the Poconos and northeast PA, north central PA, the usual suspects could hold on to that freezing rain longer. And the close-up of the precipitation types here looking at Monday evening as this is coming in, you can see in the middle here with this pinkish color here, this is all freezing rain, a little bit of sleet in the transition area, snow to the north, and rain further south. So I don't expect anything for our southern areas here as far as frozen precipitation, except something very briefly, then going over to freezing rain. But as you get into the next frame here, we get in the wee hours of the morning, there's a considerable amount of freezing rain shown on here in some of these models. So we're going to watch this pretty closely for the wintry potential. Of course, we'd rather have snow. If it's going to be wintry, you'd rather have snow than ice. We really can't do anything about that. If it is going to be ice, hopefully it's not going to be that bad for your area. And this goes right into Tuesday morning, and see freezing rain is still continuing on this particular model run here along and north of I-78. So there could be a substantial amount of ice with this if this were correct. We're still a couple days away from where we are comfortable breaking down precipitation types and by area and things like that. This is just one model run. There are some model runs that are even warmer than this, and does that transition to rain faster, which would be a good thing. So we'll continue to monitor this over the next couple of days and see where we're at. This is all going to be predicated on what happens with our blocking, and we talked about this in the last several videos, and this is being modeled differently just about every single day, so this is still not a decided thing. The whole idea here is this is our weekend storm that's going to head up into the North Atlantic and create a cyclonic wave break here, and it's going to set up a negative NAO, west-based negative NAO, and it's very close to the Davis Strait here, just the west side of Greenland. That's what Davis Strait is right here. This is Baffin Bay. Labrador Bay is down here. So right in the middle here, right centered over Davis Strait is where it's showing. How strong this gets and position of this will determine how much blocking comes in over the top of this system. We also have a North Canadian trough extension that will also play a role in the timing and keeping this suppressed a little bit further south. If it's a little slower, it might allow this to change over to freezing rain, but enough cold air comes in here to keep it frozen. So a lot of variables going into this, a lot of mess. This is looking at 18,000 feet where everything's driven. Again, it's going back and forth every single day, so we're not really getting a good handle on exactly what's going to happen. It's a very, very finely tuned thread-the-needle situation. And one of these little features are off just by a little bit. It changes everything else downstream. So we're going to continue to monitor this, of course. This is for Tuesday, Monday night and Tuesday of next week is the time frame for this that we're looking at. Looks like maybe later Tuesday it clears out of here. And then we're back to partly cloudy skies and cold conditions for both Wednesday and Thursday. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for December 13th, 2019. Have a great Friday.